Burkey and DeVito family. I know the holiday season is a very, very family-centered time of year, and I can't imagine what it would be like missing one of the key members of our family through this time. So Jackie, Manny, and I asked a bunch of Kyle's closest friends to send us videos regarding their favorite memories of Kyle and to speak a little bit about how much he means to us and how he's part of our family, which hopefully makes us part of your family too. Um, I hope all is the best in these trying times and that we all think about you guys and Kyle every day. Additionally, as I'm sure you've seen, Josh Jacobson set up a donation page for No Shave November where we raised over $6,000 to support mental health awareness, and we haven't donated that yet. And we were hoping that we could give you guys the opportunity to choose which foundation you'd like to donate that to, whether that's to Kyle's specific foundation or to any other one of your choosing. Just let us know, and we would love to make the donation on your part. We all think about you guys every day and love you all so much. But I won't drag this on, and I will let the video begin. Happy holidays.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Burkey. Nate Kern here, Kyle's sophomore year roommate. When Greg and Jackie contacted me, said they were going to put this little video montage together, I knew I had to be a part of it. Just wanted to let you know how proud you should be of who your son was. I've never seen someone so positively impact so many different people. Almost everyone he met brought joy and laughter to their life, even if it was just for a passing moment. I was fortunate enough to be inseparable from your son for 3 years of my life. He was my best friend. We did absolutely everything together. I could go on for stories for days about stuff I'm sure you'd be happy to hear and stuff you'd grimace at. But just know that, I mean, even months after this whole thing went down, that we're all still feeling it, especially me. Kyle was someone who just touched my life in an absolutely profound way, and taught me a lot about how to deal with mental struggle, how to deal with the person you see in the mirror, and how to deal with the people you love. And those are lessons I'll have forever and will never forget. So thank you for raising an absolutely upstanding young man and my best friend. I'll miss him forever. And hold on, I did want to show you guys this too. Figured you should see it. This just the stag head. I won't go into, but that's just a little symbol of Kyle and my friendship and his nickname. He's gonna be with me forever, and I couldn't be happier about that. Much love to you guys. I'm sure it's still been a tremendous struggle, but I hope it's getting easier day by day, and that knowing how great of a kid you raised has a numbing effect for you. Once again, much love, and thanks for letting us put this together. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Luke Markham. I was Kyle's roommate in 16 Ashford. Just wanted to share like a particular story about Kyle, which it's kind of a small thing, but it really sort of has stuck with me, like to this day, and just sort of made me appreciate certain things in life. I will always remember this. It was a late night. I'd been up, just studying or like probably just messing around on my laptop, and it was like 1:30 in the morning, I think, and I heard like this vibrating from our living room, and I was like, what's going on? And I just sort of walked out, and it's just Kyle sitting there on the couch with music plugged into, I was on the first floor, like right next to the living room, and it's just Kyle's like sitting there on the couch, just like listening to music, and it was this song that like I hadn't really heard of before, called Pillow Talkin', by Lil Dicky, and like 6 or 7 months later, it turned into like this gigantic viral sensation. And I loved just walking in there, and he was just like, yo, dude, like, just check this out. Like, this is kind of a weird song, but like, I absolutely love it. And like, I think a lot of people are going to appreciate it. And I was like, yeah, sure. Just sit down, and it's like this long 11-minute song that's just absolutely hysterical. And I mean, he just found it before anyone else, because I think he just had that sort of personality where he wanted to go out and do like the other things. He wanted to hear new things. He always wanted to, like, you know, explore. He was constantly introducing me to new music. He was constantly like introducing me to go and do new things. You know, sort of like out of the blue. You know, he would be biking around campus and like listening to new things, watching new TV shows, like trying to like make new like games just to like keep things entertaining and interesting and different. And like that's probably the biggest thing I think about when I think about Kyle, was like no one experience was like ever the same. Like every story is something different, and he was always looking to just find new ways to make memories, and that is something I will always remember and like keep with me, to make sure that, you know, you're always trying new things and listening to new music and, you know, experiencing everything so that you can find that cool new something. So yeah, I'll always remember that. Thank you.
Hi, this is Calvin. I was Burkey's little and Delta Tau Delta, and Kyle Burkey was always there for me. He will always be a lending ear. He'll always be a really good influence on my life. And my favorite memories with him are just every time that we spent time together, whether it be getting Vietnamese food or just watching shows.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Burkey. My name is Zach Shandel, and I met Kyle within my first few days at BU, so naturally he became one of my first and closest friends. What was really special about Kyle is that he really defined everything that you could want in a good friend. If you wanted to go out and have a good time, no matter really what the occasion was, if it was going out on the town or even just to go watch a movie, Kyle would always be up for it. But if you needed to confide in somebody or really just have somebody to talk to, Kyle would go to whatever length possible to make sure that you were okay. We all miss him very much, and we're really happy that we got to be able to honor his memory during No Shape November. And we're very proud to have done so, and we hope you're all doing better around this holiday time.
Cue us in winter 2017, the night of AE5's formal. The night started as any night would. It was very fun, and we arrived upon the Omni Parker House and a beautiful ballroom for our formal. I went down to the lobby to withdraw cash from the ATM and immediately forgot which floor that the formal was held on. So I went to the 7th floor, the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, till eventually I had to go to the bathroom. And I was hopelessly lost at this point. And who do I come upon in the bathroom? One Mr. Kyle Burkey. But after calling me an idiot, which was very well deserved, he took me under his arm and guided me back to the formal itself. If it weren't for Kyle that night, honestly, I'd probably still be lost in the Omni Parker bathroom.
I met Kyle freshman year. We lived on 11A together. He was easily one of the funniest people I have ever met, easily. He always knew how to make anyone laugh, especially me. We shared a very similar sense of humor. But he was also always a confidant. He was one of those guys you could trust. And I would go to him with random things, like if I was upset or I had a random anxiety or I was just pissed off about something. I could talk to him, and I knew that he wasn't going to tell any of the guys or anyone for that matter. I could just trust him, and that is something I think is extremely special, because it doesn't come along a lot. But my favorite memories of him, for sure, are every time after that, the years following 11A. every time I saw him, whether it be at like a Delt party or at a bar or whatever it was, we had this thing where we would always have to have a dance. So he would like take me and he would spin me around, and it was a whole big thing, and we would just act like idiots for a whole one song every time we saw each other. And then he'd give me a big hug, and then we'd catch up with whatever had happened in our lives since the last time we saw each other. He just always took time for people in that way, and he always made me feel like he was excited to see me, and I was certainly always excited to see him at any time. He was just, he's the best. It's hard because I've tried to record this so many times to pinpoint like a real favorite memory. I guess Hong Kong is one. We went to Hong Kong, which is a karaoke bar, last November, and I hadn't really been able to hang out with him in a while. We just had a great time. Everyone was singing karaoke. We were being stupid. He kept signing me up for songs, and I kept chickening out. One of our things was that we always ate together, whether it be out at bars, whatever it was. Like, I used to text him randomly and be like, I had a really bad day. I'm getting quesadillas. And he'd be like, God damn it, I'm coming. And we do that often. So while we were at Hong Kong, we kept taking breaks and running up to the bar because they have this huge menu. And we just kept ordering all of the food. At one point we ordered like 30 mozzarella sticks for the two of us, and they only charged us like $6 for it. I stand by that being a great idea. It was the best. He always made me so happy. He's just the greatest. He was always such a positive part of my life in my time at BU. I got this tattoo for him. I've always wanted to work in mental health, and I'm working toward becoming a psychologist, and I like to keep him with me. I think about him every day, and he's taken something that was once a passion for me and somehow made it into something that's that much more than that, if that makes sense at all. Everything I do, every time it gets hard, every time I feel like I just need a break or I want to give up or whatever it may be, I think about him and I do it for him. And he motivates me to keep working forward, to keep moving forward, and everything I do from now to the end of my career, whatever it is, I'm going to think of him and I'm going to do for him, and I want to help people, and he'll always be that positive light that keeps me wanting to do that. I think about him every single day, every day. I love him. He's really...
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Burkey. My name is Shane. I was one of Kyle's friends and fraternity brothers at Boston University, and I just wanted to say Kyle was an amazing individual. He was a really solid friend. It meant a lot to me. We had experienced a lot together at Boston University, and I really miss him. He was a great guy, great individual. I think about him a ton. And I hope that you both are doing well, and I hope you both know that Kyle was loved, not only by you, but by his friends, by the Boston University community, and he is missed every single day that he is not here, and I hope that he is, wherever he is at right now, that he is doing great, be it heaven or, wherever he is right now, spiritually. I just wanted to say that he was a great guy. I was happy to have known him and that he truly was loved by his friends and family. Thank you.
My favorite memory with Kyle is when we ordered takeout from Finn's and we had sushi in the park across the street from that apartment he was living in that one summer in Kenmore Square. And I had my edamame, which he knows I love, and we just hung out and talked for hours, and it was just a really happy memory I have of the two of us. I love you, Kyle. Always have, always will.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rhiannon. I had the pleasure of meeting a lot of you guys in New York in June, and I had the pleasure of meeting Kyle about 3 years ago back at school at Boston University. Um, and ever since then, my life has just been exponentially better with his presence in it. His outlook on life, his charismatic presence that he carried with him everywhere he went, the way that he treated people with just the utmost amount of respect and integrity was just something that I truly admire about Kyle, and his presence is missed every single day. I carry with myself a lot of what he taught me in my everyday life, just the way that I carry myself. My outlook on life, his insights on so many things, I've just been able to carry with me as I grow on throughout my life. And I just wanted to let you guys know that you raised an incredible, beautiful, just absolutely wonderful, intelligent, confident human being. I wear my K every single day just to, keep him with me everywhere I go. And he touched the lives of so many people that still to this day just marvel at him. And, he was just absolutely one of the best people that I ever had the privilege of knowing, and that I will carry with me throughout my entire life. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving us such an incredible human being and raising such a wonderful young man. And he is missed by so many people. And just as the holidays approach, I just wanted to wish you guys a very, very happy holiday season, and just say thank you. I hope that you guys are doing well, and I hope I get to meet you guys again someday. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and have a good one.
So Kyle and I used to spend countless hours at the poker table, just playing cards and mostly chatting about music. He was one of the few people that really understood amazing music. Some of the bands he showed me were instant favorites, and some others were just ones that we both loved. No one else had ever heard of them, and it always shocked me and surprised me when I would say, "Hey man, check out this band," but he already knew them and was listening to them yesterday.
So yeah, music was definitely part of Kyle's life in a big way, whether it was, sharing songs with friends, creating it like himself. He really expressed his feelings through music. I just remember this one time he made me a playlist of just a ton of songs of like inside jokes and songs that he loved, songs he thought I would love. And that's just something I'll always cherish.
We love you, Kyle.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Burkey and the rest of the Burkey family. My name is Sam, and Mrs. Burkey, you might remember me from the night that you, Kyle, myself, my mom, and our good friend Nate all went to the Cheesecake Factory together. But I just wanted to take this moment to talk about Kyle and what he means to me. So I wrote a little something just so I could have my thoughts gathered, and so I'm going to read that for you guys. Kyle was the very first friend that I made at BU. We met during the FISOP program, and I think we both kind of knew immediately that we were going to be really great friends. From there, I introduced Kyle to the friends that I had met during orientation, and we formed a group and a bond that I know that myself, as well as the rest of the guys, will truly cherish for our entire lives. Kyle and I bounced off each other so well, and during our freshman year, really did just about everything together. We went to Boston Calling together during one of our first weekends, followed by a few other concerts. We went to Canada later that year for Snow Jam, which was one of the most fun weekends of my entire life and one that I will never forget. We stormed the Boston Commons together after the Patriots won their Super Bowl, and these are just a few of some of the amazing and exciting memories that I have from my time with Kyle. But the times that I truly cherish most are the late nights that we'd spend just talking about anything. Specifically that freshman year, living only a few floors from each other, we would sit up, honestly looking back, what seems like almost every night, just studying, but really just messing around, laughing, talking, and becoming more and more of brothers with every moment. As college went on, we maintained our close relationship, and although we couldn't spend the same type of time together, not living so close to each other anymore, and with the growing demands of school, I always felt that bond with Kyle, and I always knew that when we were together, that I was with my brother. And so, Kyle, I love you so much, and I miss you.
The best thing about Kyle was that there was never anything you could really say that described Kyle. He could take any situation, bad or good, with anybody there, no matter if you knew them or not, and make it exciting. You know, when Kyle walked into a room, everyone knew Kyle was in there. Everyone knew that he was trying to make it more fun. He was trying to make it quirky and exciting, and he just brought a life to a room that I think is really hard to explain. I remember when we used to live together, we would just talk for hours about the most random things, but it was some of my best memories that I ever had in college. And when we went to Snow Jam freshman year, we got stuck on a bus for 9 hours together, and I honestly had the most fun ever because he just knew how to take this situation where we were stuck on a bus to Canada and make it one of the best times I've had in college.
One of my favorite things about Kyle was his presence. Whenever he came into a room or was watching a game or met up with anyone, he would instantly lighten the mood. His presence made whatever event or whatever was going on so much better. He had this ability to affect people around him and make everyone more excited, more lighthearted in a way. It really was incredible.
Hey, my name's Dan O'Canner. Burkey was a really good friend of mine. He was also my brother. We were in the same fraternity, engineering majors. We were in the same family too, legacy family, and he was always just like a unique personality to be around, just like carefree and like big heart of gold, honestly. And I remember one of my best moments with him, besides all the times that we had fun, of course, was when I was starting as philanthropy chair for the frat. I was like a newer brother at the time, and I just like ended up hosting an event. It was called Pumpkin Smash, and he was there the entire time, and he stayed with me till the end, and then he helped me clean up and all of that. And that was one of the moments where I knew that, like, you know, Burkey was not only like just a fun guy to be around, but also someone that I could always depend on and trust. And I miss him a lot, and my condolences to you guys, and I wish you guys the best. And you know, we all miss Burkey.
My favorite memory of Kyle was my freshman year. I would always go to him no matter what. I always had a great time when I was with him. He was so happy and so funny, and he was just so great to be around. His like humor and everything was so contagious. And I just remember my freshman year, if I was ever happy or sad, or especially if I was sad, I could always go to him, and he would just say something funny and, you know, cheer me up and be completely honest. But it was just something that it was like, he was a light to be around, and I will always love him for that.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Burkey. Issa here. This is Kyle's hat. My most memorable memories of Kyle are from when I first came to BU. I lived one floor above him at 1019, and would hang out all the time. He and the other guys down there were the reason why I joined Delt, and best decision I've made. Kyle was a great friend. He was an awesome guy. Everybody loved Kyle. And my probably most memorable moments are playing FIFA with him in their room. They had this big projector. Actually, like the first day I got there, I played FIFA with them, and I think I lost to Kyle, but I for sure got some rematches later on, and I got my revenge. But great kid, great friend, great brother. Love the kid.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Burkey and the Burkey family. My name is Jackie, and I was one of the many people who was lucky enough to call Kyle one of my friends during my time at Boston University. And I just wanted to mention, and I'm sure you're hearing all of these stories with all the things everyone loved about Kyle, but there was just something about Kyle that was so captivating. Every time he walked into a room and every time his name was even mentioned, his presence was just always so radiant. He was mesmerizing, and he was funny and charming and kind, and whenever I got to spend time with him, especially during the time at 16 Ashford, and whenever Kyle would come back and visit BU, it was always just such a special time or a special night or even a special day. I have so many fond memories that, I'll treasure in my heart forever. There were so many nights that myself and my friend Ray, we would stay up really late and we would just talk about life, movies, TV, games. And then I would look at my phone and it would be almost 4 in the morning, and it was like it had been a minute. One of my favorite stories, and I think that it's probably been mentioned on this video, was I went to Hong Kong with Kyle and a bunch of us, and it really was one of the last special times at BU where I kind of looked around and was just so grateful that I had met these people. We ended up staying so much later than we had planned. Kyle did not want to sing. He was adamant about it, and we finally by the end, we all signed up. All the boys sang Love Shack. I was so embarrassed. I think there's a video somewhere of me watching in disbelief that these were my friends, but I will treasure that night forever. And then to celebrate, we got a bunch of Chinese food. Didn't feel good the next day, but it was great at the moment. And something about that Kyle said to me that night, I had showed up in my Patriots bomber jacket and kind of, just not something you would wear out. And he kind of said, not many people are confident enough to kind of wear the jacket, but you rock it, and I love it. And I have it. It's in my closet. I'm looking at it right now, and I will never not think of him when I wear it and when I see it. And I think of him every day, miss him and love him so much. And we're thinking of you guys, and we love you.
So I am Matthew Hormus. I'm actually Kyle's little in our fraternity, and I had the pleasure of living with Kyle my junior year of college. Him and everyone in our suite were super close. It was just a pleasure to be around. I had a lot of classes with him because we're both computer engineers, and I would just see him in class. We'd work on homework together all the time. Every time we came back to the room, he'd always be doing something with his music or whether it's with school. He was just a super passionate guy all around. He was super into music. I would always see him working on something with that. And I had some of my first college experiences with him. We would always used to go to our grandbig's house and just play board games and just have a good time. And it was just the stupidest stuff, when you think about it. But to me, coming into college as a freshman, I thought he was the guy that I looked up to. He was. That's why I wanted him as my big. Yeah, it's just hard to put what Kyle could ever mean to anybody, all of us, in words. Yeah, he's just a great guy, and I miss him every day.
So I have so many great memories with Kyle from sophomore year when we took one of the hardest classes at BU together, and we pulled pretty much 4 all-nighters in a row to finish our work, to junior year where we lived together in the house, where we would eat pretty much 30 dumplings a night, to playing one of the most fun games ever that Kyle came up with called Charlie McDennis, to going to the lake house, and Kyle coming to Ithaca. But one of the most fun times I think I ever had with Kyle was when we went to Niagara Falls. You guys were nice enough to house me and feed me the night before, and then we drove up to Niagara to meet Q. We did some tourist stuff, had a couple beers, and then we hit the casino. I remember walking around at like 3 a.m. and there was a whole huge crowd gathered around a table. And I walked up, and let alone it was Kyle on a winning streak. He was entertaining everyone at the table while he was winning hundreds of Canadian dollars himself. Finally, when Kyle was up about 600 Canadian dollars, he decided to cash out, and we walked around the mini city of Niagara Falls and visited the falls. While we were doing that at like 3 or 4 in the morning, we made friends with a bunch of different groups of international tourists, and we just had such a great time. There's so many other memories, but that's definitely one of my favorites. I'll always remember and cherish that memory and all of the others I have with Kyle. He was such a great guy to be around, and his smile could brighten any room at any time. And I love him so much.
So Kyle and I met when he was a senior and I was a sophomore, and the connection that we found with each other was actually music. And he started getting into producing like beats on his like music software on his computer, and I would always like pop in his room and I'd see him working on something, and he'd like show me, and he knows that I like rap music, and he was like, you gotta rap on one of these beats. So I was like, yeah, we gotta do that. So what we would do is we'd like meet on Fridays a lot after class, and we'd get in the studio at BU, and we would like record for like a couple hours and just like, kind of screw around, have fun with it. And we really got to know each other and just talk about everything when we were there. And in general, we would talk about music for hours. So that was like one of the really deep connections that I made with Kyle. And he was just had such a creative mindset and just types of perceptions that I never really thought about when it came to creating music. And what's actually pretty cool is I still have some of his beats that he made. So what's my brother and I decided to do, who's also in the fraternity, is we decided to make a tribute song to one of his beats, because we actually never ended up finishing any of the work that I did with Kyle in the studio. So we made this tribute song, and we put Nate Kern on it, and actually we're gonna be done with it pretty soon, and I would love to send it to you guys.
Hey Kyle, fucking with the beat, making instrumentals, I was trying to get a feed. What's been weighing on your mental? I can hear your heartbeat, okay I get it. Depression make you feel like a victim. See you was losing rhythm, I can see it in your vision. Passionate on everything but rash at your decisions. Setbacks, inhibitions, that you can't accept these feelings. I don't blame you that you're insecure, no one wants to listen but we do. No, you know bro, when you feeling low, let us know. Yeah, come together, hey, then we all grow like bros. Cause mental health has always been a stigma. Public all wrong, they ain't really with the picture. This is not a choice, it's a motherfucking illness. Know you got a voice, can't hold it all within us. Wait.
Cal Burkey, I just like to let you know that
This shit for my day one. Can't believe you made this shit. You know we miss you, Burkus.
Why do you have to break all my fucking knobs?
I love to sit back and reminisce, still thinking, fuck man, where we go amiss. Haven't talked to you in a fat grip, but if I did miss shit, I'd just tell you this. Since you my day one dog, you couldn't be more clearer. Learning this is the end of a fucking era. A time marked by laughs, booling. Got me thinking of summer nights, just straight up coolin'. Sip a little Jaeger, maybe twist one up. Talk about the ladies with the really nice butts. Sucks dick, my dude, that we can't relive. Rewind, fuck man, I miss you kid. But I'll see you one day real fucking soon. Like Mr. Dean said, man, I'll bring the bruise. We'll kick it at the pearly gates real fucking tight. And then we'll roll one up, man, real fucking tight. Pass it around with our favorite people. Post up on the crib like we did back in the day up on Ashford, that's 16. Motherfucker, I miss you, that's my dream. Like
Yeah, and if you got it, listen, speak up, because someone's about to listen. Speak up, yeah, and if you got it, listen, yeah, speak up, because someone's about to listen.
Damn, that's pretty good for a freestyle.